Imagine getting up every day full of energy as if you were in your 20s again. What would that be like? What would it be worth to you? What is your health worth to you? Think about it. Your health isn't everything, but without it, everything else is nothing. And yet, too many of us are taking it for granted until something goes wrong. And no one wakes up hoping to be diagnosed with a disease or chronic illness. And yet, we've never been taught how to be proactive in our health through our school or public health. As a registered health coach and integrative health practitioner, I believe it's time this information is made available to everyone. Combining new knowledge around your health and the ability to do my functional medicine lab tests in the comfort of your own home will allow you to optimize your health for today and all your tomorrows. Don't wait for your wake-up call. Welcome back to the Don't Wait for Your Wake-Up Call podcast. I am your host, Melissa Deely, and thank you for being here with me today. I am super excited to introduce you to another amazing guest, Tanya Zimmerman. Welcome, Tanya.
Hi, Melissa. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here and to introduce you to the audience. Tanya is the whisperer of possibilities and sound alchemists, assisting amazing single women all over the world to attract their ideal partner. And through her services, she removes any obstacles on an energetic, emotional, and mental level. So, Tanya, I would love for you to share your story. I know you're tuning in from the Canary Islands, which is amazing, just south of Spain or Spain area. I'm not even sure I know exactly where they are. So you'll have to share that as you tell your story. How did you come to work in this line of healing, powerful work? And how did you come to be living where you are living right now as well?
So let's start with that. So the Canary Islands officially belong to Spain, but are located off the coast of Africa, actually. So
there you go.
more Morocco than Spain, but we do belong officially to Spain. And I've been living here for the past 5 years. I'm kind of a global citizen the past 20 years on the road in all kind of fantastic places. And now the wind blew me here.
Oh, I love
that. I'm a bit like Mary Poppins, I always say. When the wind blows off change, then I go somewhere else. And my journey started about 15 years ago. And like many people in our field, it was a personal journey. I've reached a point in my life where I wasn't happy and I wasn't healthy, and I had a lot of emotional pain all my life, and I did all kinds of things to numb that. And then I reached that point where I was like, okay, something has to change in my life, right? It's really like, I don't want to continue living like this. It was really that point. And I said, okay, some people talk about life is fun and easy, and I don't know. That isn't the case for me. So as things occur, I was living in London in the UK at that time, and somebody handed me a flyer for meditation, for a free meditation class. And I thought like, oh, I always wanted to try that. So I started going to that meditation class, and within a week, my whole life turned around. They were sharing things like, breath work to connect with your body, but they also said that your thoughts actually create your reality. And at that point, for me, that was like, wow, what do you mean? I'm not a victim. What do you mean? I don't blame everybody else anymore. And that was the beginning of my journey. And from there, I discovered Reiki energy healing. And again, somebody handed me a flyer, and it was like, do you want to sleep better? And I was suffering from insomnia at the time. So I signed up to a class without even knowing what it was. And so within a month, my whole life turned around, and I knew I also wanted to change career, because I was like, oh my God, this is all so amazing. I want everybody to know that, right? That we can turn our life around. With simple things. I'm not saying it's easy, right? But it's simple. It's little choices. Yeah.
I love how open
And
you were to these opportunities. Even though you were feeling like you were at rock bottom, sometimes we can just kind of shut down and be in that place and push everything else and everyone else away. But in being handed a flyer, you actually took the flyer and then looked at the flyer and took action upon that. And I absolutely love that. And you gave me full body goosebumps when you were talking about our thoughts define our reality, because it is so true. And I love that you step right into that, signing up for Reiki, et cetera, et cetera. So keep going.
yeah, so it was amazing. So I really became this kind of, reading all the books that were available at the time, and really like making very quick leaps, no, of knowledge and of change. And one thing led to another, and I was in a perfect place at the perfect time, no, because London is a big city, so much is available, and all the big teachers pass through. And I've spent time with the Dalai Lama and Anthony Robbins and all those big names, and it was amazing. And I was just absorbing it, and it was my own journey. And while I was let's call it moving forward, no, I started working with people and already implementing everything I've learned. And fairly quickly after Reiki, I came across sound healing. And that for me was amazing, because I always loved music. As a child, I used to sing and play instruments. So when I heard that there's the possibility to use sacred sounds for healing, it was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I started training in so many different modalities. So I always say I have a suitcase full of so many different tools and techniques, because I'm so curious. So I didn't stop at the first three things. I have, 50 different tools at least in my box, from all kinds of shamanisms to different healing modalities, different coaching modalities, hypnotherapy, all kind of things, because I love this holistic approach, right? To have the ability to go at something from all different kind of angles, whatever is required for my clients.
I absolutely love that. And I too, as a young girl, loved music. I played the piano in that because we had a piano in the house that I lived in at the time. But when we moved out, I didn't get to keep playing the piano because the piano couldn't be moved out of the house. It didn't fit out the doors. We would have had to take the roof off or something. So unlike you, I didn't play a lot of instruments, but I've always loved music. And I could have been in a really stressed state. And then, my favorite song would come on the radio, and it would just completely drop me out of that. And I'd get up and move and I sing out loud, and I can't sing. And I had friends that would tell me to be quiet, but I would sing anyway because it made me feel so good. Right. And
Exactly.
it shifted my energy, and I didn't know it at the time. And I didn't understand what was going on physiologically in the body. I just knew it made me feel better. Right. And so, I used to drive to university, and it was an hour and a half each way, and often stuck in traffic. And my day could start out crappy, but I could just turn on a favorite song and it would shift my whole day. So I absolutely hear what you're saying around, music. And I never understood how music, like I said, the physiology of music being so healing. But I love what you're doing with sound healing. I think that it's incredibly powerful. And I know,
and yeah,
I was going to say, I know for listeners that stay right to the end, we're going to attach to this podcast 8 minutes of your sound healing, which is such a treat for listeners. But yes, keep talking about this, because I know sound healing and energy healing, these are all modalities that you're working with now.
Yes, and I love what you just shared, because that's one of my favorite tools that I give to people. Is for me, it's all about energy and vibration, right? And it is exactly in these times that we're living in. It's all about raising our energies, keeping it high. And what you were just sharing with put your favorite song on and sing along and dance along is one of my favorite tools that we can all do, whenever we need to. So amazing that you already, as a young girl, had that innate knowledge to do that. Because it is all about vibration. And I love how so many modalities play with that, but also how simple it actually can be for us to constantly choose actions or thoughts that keep our vibration high, or that get it back into that state. And that's really one of the key things of my work, to remind people of that, and show them how to do that and facilitate that.
And I love that, because I completely agree. And as you said, it was kind of innate. And to this day, I will still do that. And I know, in conferences, they get people to do that. Like, you've been sitting and listening for a while, stand up and move. And they put on really good high vibe music that just, you can't help but move to, or at least I can't. And
I'm the same. Yeah.
And even at the beginning of the pandemic, I was running a program called Finding Calm Amidst the Coronavirus Storm, and doing daily, like Monday to Friday, daily short meditations and teaching to help people, control the panic of what is happening in our world, right? And one day a week, I would do a dance party and put on a really high vibrational song, and we'd be on Zoom and just dancing and having a great time, because that helps shift us out of the doom and gloom and into a place of feeling good and happy again, that we can go back to our lives in a better frame of mind, mentally, emotionally, and physically, as a result of shifting that energy. So
Absolutely.
I'd love you to talk about, other tools that you use, whether it's in the sound healing or in shifting energy, of, how you do the work that you do.
Yes. So the sound healing and the energy healing, I combine that. So I call it sound alchemy, because for me, it's all about transformation. And I combine that with working with people. So you were mentioning in the introduction, right now, I'm very much working with women. And one of the topics that came actually out of the pandemic, and when I was offering, like you, lots of daily support for people with sound and meditation, I ended up working with a lot of women, and we were working around confidence and feeling better in their body. A lot of those ladies wanted to use the lockdown, to take care of themselves and use that time, for when they normally in daily life don't have the time for. And eventually, it turned out that most of them were single, and they asked me to create some work and some journeys so that they would attract their ideal partner. And out of that, my current body of work has developed, because we did that with a lot of success. And so right now, I'm very passionate about working with women around attracting the ideal partner. And I use the concept of vibration for that, right? So often it's blockages on an energetic level that are still there. So, or on a mental level, or on an emotional level. So I go in there with the energy, with all kind of techniques, and clear that out. Then we get clarity on what they would like to attract. And then the sounds come in to get them vibrating at that frequency of what they're looking for. So with that concept of when you're vibrating, let's say you're looking for somebody nurturing and caring and fun, and you're vibrating at that frequency, that person can be attracted. That person with the same frequency can be attracted to you. And the same concept, of course, goes for everything. It goes for attracting your ideal partner. It goes for attracting health and being healthy and wealthy and everything. The vibration for me is the key to everything. So to really be clear on that, on being cleared, but also to really know what is it that we wish to attract, and start vibrating that for ourselves.
I love that. And since I started my health coaching journey, I had heard that we are the combination of the 5 people we hang out with the most. And so to look around, like if you're not happy with where you're at or in your life or who you are, look around and see who are the 5 people that you're hanging around the most. And then look around at, okay, where do you want to go? Who do you want to emulate? And attracting more of that type of person into your life, spending more time with that type of person. And even as I was guided on my journey, I realized every time I stepped forward into that path, I was raising my vibration. And in raising my vibration, I was attracting more into my life that reconfirmed that I was on the right path.
Yes.
So, it all ties together because we are energy beings, right? And so
Absolutely.
you mentioned attracting wealth and health and your ideal partner, but also your ideal client, which helps, contribute towards that wealth, etc. And so there's the manifestation piece that people talk about a lot, but ensuring that our energy, that vibration, is in alignment with what we're wanting to manifest is really key.
Absolutely, that alignment, right? That's the key word here. It's about that alignment, because often we say something, right, but energetically we are not vibrating at that level. So when something is really not flowing or not happening, then that is really a sign to go inwards and check, right, and go like, okay, am I in alignment, and what do I need to do to get into that alignment, or how can I raise my vibration, or how can I get into that vibration of that I wish to attract.
I love that. So in terms of the tools that you use with sound healing, I know you've mentioned gongs and bells, I think you said, I'm not sure.
Bowls. So I have, so those of you watching the video, they see, I have my gongs in the background. I have Tibetan singing bowls. I have crystal bowls. I have drums and rattles and lots of other little magical instruments. But the gongs and the bowls are my main tools. Yes.
I love it. And I have had the pleasure of already listening to some of it and have been previously aware of sound healing before I met you, but hadn't actually ever participated in any. So listening to the recording of your sound healing was really my first experience. But I love the power of it, because for me, it puts me into such a beautiful Zen state, which is something I try to do for myself every single day, whether it's through meditation, through yoga, through getting out on my paddleboard, because that's that piece of self-care for me, is just allowing my entire system to calm. I try to do it first thing in the morning so that when I'm busy the rest of the day, recording podcasts or working with clients, that my cup is full so I can better serve others. So
that's so beautiful. And
mm-hmm.
with the sound, so thank you. I'm happy that I was your first experience for the sound healing. Yeah. And I would love to say that shall I explain a little bit how sound healing works? Maybe that could be of interest for some people who don't know that yet.
Yeah, definitely, please.
So it's also on the basis that we are all energy, that we're made of energy. We're made of lots of little energy particles that create our physical body, and we are so much more than that, right? And even the ancient civilizations already knew that dis-ease starts outside of our body, actually. Yeah, it starts with the thoughts. It starts in our energy field. And if you have a persistent thought, like a negative thought or a worry or something, that starts to create a blockage in your energy field. When it shows up in our physical body, that's actually already the last instance. It starts way before, right? Mm-hmm. That's why what we said earlier, that your thoughts create your reality, and everything that happens is so powerful, because when we have the capacity to catch the things already when they're still in thought form, still on an energetic level, then ideally we prevent from dis-ease showing up in our physical body, right?
It's something I just want to say there, it's something that I talk about as well, and maybe that's a really good analogy for people to better understand. But I often talk about the fact that stress is that silent killer, right? And stress is damaging our organs, but stress is triggered by that worry or those thoughts of, or fear, or whatever it is that's going around and around in our head for a lot of time, right? And then that can then be starting to, cause problems in the physical. And some people don't really understand, that connection, but I think you've just explained it beautifully there about how it is starting outside our body. And by the time the disease is showing up in our organs, it's a quite some time later.
It is, exactly. And with the sound vibrations, the idea is, so sound works on all levels. It works on the energetic field, on the mental, on the emotional, and on the physical. So the sound vibrations go in there and dissolve whatever blockage is there. So like, imagine you're throwing a stone in water, and it starts making those ripples. Have you have that image? And that's what happens with the sound, right? So the sound vibration, we are 80% water in our body. So the physical body beautifully absorbs those sound vibrations. And then those ripples, they dissolve any blockages that might be there. Yeah. And it's beautiful. And the beauty of that is that whoever listens to it doesn't have to do anything. For me, it's one of the most beautiful therapies, right? Because you can, if it's a one-to-one session or a group event, you just lie there usually, and lots of people fall asleep, and yet magic is happening, and your body gets realigned and cleared and balanced and all those beautiful things, and you don't have to do a thing.
I love that. I'm just having a brilliant idea come to my mind because I just bought an infrared sauna blanket for helping the body detox. And I'm looking forward to trying that out. I've been, aware of the benefits of infrared saunas for a number of years now, but didn't have a sauna in my house and haven't really been a sauna person in terms of the traditional sauna because I will overheat before not too long. And that can sometimes trigger migraines. But with the dry sauna and the infrared sauna, it's a bit different. But I didn't have access to one. And then I found out about these sauna blankets. So I've just bought one to try. I just arrived yesterday. And I'm thinking I could lie in my sauna blanket and listen to sound healing music.
Absolutely. Perfect. That sounds like a really cool combination. And you know what then the key is? The key is, what intention are you going to set when you listen to it? Okay. So just for everybody listening, right? So you can listen to a sound healing recording and just enjoy it. But when you put an intention, it's so much more powerful. And by intention, I mean whatever you would like to receive. So if you are lying in your blanket, in your sauna blanket, and your intention is to detox your body, right, for example, or to relax your body, then you set that intention and ask the sacred sounds to support you with that. Yeah. Or if you want to be energized, then you ask for that. If you have something in mind and say, oh, I'm starting this project, or today is an important meeting, then you ask the sounds to support you in that. Right. That's an extra magic to make it even more powerful.
I love that. Thank you. I will definitely be doing that. I will definitely let you know how it goes as well.
Please do. Please do.
So, as we wrap up, because I want to leave time for people to be able to enjoy the sound at the end of this podcast, I always love to ask my guests a couple questions. So the first one is, what does "don't wait for your wake-up call" mean to you?
So for me, that means making constantly choices that are in favor of my well-being, of my raised vibration, right? It means for me to do baby steps, those little things like putting the favorite song on and dancing and moving, or whatever it is that makes me happy. But don't wait for your wake-up call, also in the sense of, don't wait for something big to happen. No, don't wait for that illness or disease or the chaos to unfold. It's more of a my approach is one of prevention. No, so if we already take care of us every day, then hopefully it won't come to that point where something really serious is happening. So that's a bit for me like, start now. What are you waiting for, in a way, like every day we can make those choices, and in a way every day we have to make the choices. Unfortunately, there is no magic pill that says, ooh, here and now your vibration is forever raised and clear and healed. We're not there yet.
I love that. And it's funny because I was a guest on a podcast recently, and the podcaster said something that really resonated, because my listeners have heard me say many times, listen when your body whispers so it doesn't have to yell at you. But I heard another one that's even more powerful. She says that the body will touch you with a feather to get your attention. But if you don't pay attention, it's going to hit you with a brick. And if you still don't pay attention, it's going to run you over with a semi-trailer, right?
I love that. I use that same example. Yeah.
We don't want the semi-trailer. We don't even want the brick. It's pay attention when it's that feather, right? And if we're constantly doing that, we're able to constantly keep our vibration high, keep our body in balance, and maintain our health, and create a body that is inhospitable to disease, so that we can live a joyful, long, vital life. So
absolutely. And our body holds all the wisdom. It's always just about listening and learning how to communicate with the body.
Exactly.
We have it all. We have it all inside us.
Exactly. So if people want to get hold of you, I understand you do some group programs, you work one-to-one with people. Maybe you can just talk a little bit about that and how people can get hold of you.
Sure. So at the moment, I do a lot of one-to-one work, especially with the ladies who wish to attract their ideal partner. So that's a one-to-one program. And I do occasionally online sound events. So the best way for that is to come to my Facebook page. You find me under Rainbow Alchemy. And otherwise on my website, rainbow-alchemy.com. And my email address is Tanya, with an I, Tania, at rainbow-alchemy.com. And I'm always open for a Zoom coffee, and usually my offering is very personalized. So I always invite, if you feel drawn to come and play with me, get in touch, we have a chat and we see what's going on for you, and let's see what kind of program I can create for you.
That's awesome. I love that. And I highly encourage listeners to reach out, because as you can tell, Tanya is just such a wonderful, warm person, operating at that high vibration. You can't help to feel your own energy lifted when you're in a Zoom room with her.
Thank you.
So definitely reach out. I think that you offer many powerful forms of healing. And the holistic approach is so important. Of course, that's my approach as well, but there's never just one way, right? So people can work with me and, do the labs and get the science behind what's going on, but they can add and enhance that working with you, or vice versa, right? There's never just one way when we're looking after our body and our health. So what message would you like to leave the audience with to inspire them to take action in their health journey starting today?
I'm taking a moment to think. So a little bit what I said earlier already, it's about what choices can you do today? What fun choices, what brings you joy? Because joy is a super high vibration as well. What can you do? Little baby steps to raise your vibration, to be in a high vibration. Find out what are your ways, and have them there, that when you feel like in a funk or a bit low or low energy, like, okay, that song is going to do it for me. Or I have a playlist. I have a whole happy playlist on Spotify, and have sound recordings, have like a database of things that make you happy around you, and find out. We are all different, and it's something different for each of us. So find out what are those things. For me, it's going out in nature. I know, Melissa, we are both very blessed to live in nature, surrounded by nature, and not everybody has that opportunity. But have those little things ready for when you need them, and then choose them. There's no need to feel low energy, to spend too much time in the worry and in the anxiety. It is really just a choice. So please choose.
I love that. Being ready, having your list ready, as I say, or your database, so that when you do notice that you're in that lower energy space, that it's just the awareness to recognize, oh, my energy's dropped. I'm not feeling great. How do I get out of it? And here's my list. I love that. Great advice. So thank you so much for joining us here today. I know you want to leave the audience with some instructions on how to best experience the sound healing recording. So I'm going to let you do that. Thank you to the audience for joining us. And I look forward to having you join me again next time on the Don't Wait for Your Wake Up Call podcast.
Thank you so much, Melissa. So what you're going to listen to now is a little sound alchemy recording called the Vibrational Morning Shower. So I've created that recording with the intention to energize you, and to energize you, your energy, and any projects or anything that might be going on. So I encourage you to listen with headphones. That will give you the best possible sound quality. There is no spoken word, so you can also have it run in the background or while you're driving, and just enjoy it. Make sure to drink some water afterwards. And I believe, Melissa, you're also going to be putting the purchase link somewhere under this podcast. So this is available for purchase. But for now, just enjoy it. It's nature sounds and gongs and bowls, and it's really the intention to energize you, and whatever intention you would like to put in there as well. So enjoy.
I look forward to that, and I hope all of you listeners stay on and enjoy this special gift from Tanya.